In the top stories, it's the fifth day of the sugar factory strike. A man on trial in a near 400-pound marijuana bust confesses. And a plea for taller netballers. Welcome to Nation News for Monday, April the 14th, 2014.
Introducing the all-new Rubigas LPG composite bottle from Rubis. These exclusive 22-pound bottles weigh 50% less than traditional steel cylinders and can be used for picnicking and day-to-day home needs. These composite bottles are translucent, allowing you to see the liquid level at all times, so you will never run out of gas unexpectedly. Lightweight, visible gas level, portable, corrosion-proof, eco-friendly. The Rubigas LPG composite bottle, available from Rubis.
Talks have been underway to end the Port Vale sugar factory strike. Workers continue their vigil outside the factory for fifth day as the Minister of Labour sought a settlement between the Barbados Workers Union and the Barbados Agricultural Management Company, which runs the factory. Nation News has been hearing from one of the workers.
Have you lost $144 a day?
Have over
$1,000 a day. You gonna go down to how much days this is now? Today is what day for me?
It is day 6.
Day 6? Day 6. Calculate it. You see how much millions of dollars for you as a BMC company that have no money back now. Yeah, I saw the ground. No many people out there saying that what is going on, we could go on. Most people don't even know what came when they're coming into this factory. They don't know what is going to go through in here that sugar worker. Right? Sugar factory, sugar industry, agriculture, and the sugar sector is dangerous work.
You can get updates on the strike negotiations on our website, nationnews.com, and in Tuesday's Daily Nation. Next, some news about another colonial-era crop. Barbados was the first British West Indies colony to export cotton in the 17th century. And the country's sea island cotton remains a premium and desired product despite the industry's checkered history since then. So much so that one exporting firm says it is struggling to meet export demand. Adelaide Stevenson, the CEO of Exclusive Cottons of the Caribbean, says she would like to see 450 acres of cotton planted, close to 200 more than at present. Mr. Stevenson told the Barbados Business Authority that local cotton was doing well in Europe and some was being used in Japan. A 41-year-old man has entered a guilty plea in his trial arising from a vague drug haul off a West Coast beach in 2011. Vincentian-born Junior Noel Charles confessed in the High Court that he unlawfully imported, possessed, and trafficked 177 kilos of cannabis. That's 390 pounds. It was a result of a 2 a.m. drug bust by the police at Fitzvillage, St. James on September the 5th, 2011. Charles, who has 7 previous convictions, remains on bail and will return to court on June the 11th when his pre-sentencing report is expected to be produced. Minister of Culture Stephen Lashley says there is no clamor for new national heroes, even though he's heard calls from time to time for additions to the current roster of 10. Speaking at the launch of the Season of Emancipation, Mr. Lashley said, however, the list is by no means exhaustive, adding that recommendations are welcomed. Mr. Lashley also touched on the issue of the island's ongoing economic troubles, saying that a collective cross-sectoral approach is needed to help induce growth in the economy.
We have certainly a responsibility, those of us who are called to lead, and certainly those who are very much part and parcel of the solution, whether it be the media, whether it will be corporate Barbados, whether it's the workers, all of us are called upon to look at Barbados through new eyes. And those new eyes have to be based on holding each other's hands and resolving to approach our economic challenges by being more productive and being a bit more focused in terms of creating solutions that are homegrown.
In news about our neighbors, St. Lucia has been defending its decision to impose the 70% duty on selected imports from Barbados from next month. Titus Prevel, the permanent secretary in St. Lucia's Ministry of Commerce, said this rate had been approved with Barbados' knowledge by the CARICOM Council for Trade and Economic Development, known as COTED, and will last until the end of 2018. Trade sources say protecting its bay industry is at the heart of the St. Lucia decision, with Banks Breweries likely to be the hardest hit of Barbadian exporters. Barbados exports about $30 million to St. Lucia annually, but imports only $10 million from its neighbor.
Member states of the less developed countries were granted permission to adjust what we call, or implement what we call, Article 164 import duty rates on a select list of products. Barbados, Trinidad, Guyana, all member states of CARICOM were party to that decision. So all St. Lucia is doing is, come the 1st of May, we will be implementing those import duty rates consistent with what was agreed to at the quoted meeting.
Allegations of death threats continue to fly in the wake of the life sentences imposed in the Vibes cartel murder trial in Jamaica. 2 journalists are the latest to say their lives have been threatened following the trial of the entertainer and his accomplices. A police sergeant and the director of public prosecutions and her team who handled the case have also reported receiving death threats. In sport, Roger the Sheriff Skeet and the new co-driver Stuart Maloney are the champions of the Barbados Rally Club's Valvoline Stages Rally. The pair completed the 10 stages which started and ended on Sunday at Greenland Plantation St. Andrew in 22 hours, 18 minutes and 7 seconds. Paul the Surfer Bourne and Englishman Tom Woodburn were second, and the team of Josh Reed and Mark Jordan took third place. Neil Armstrong and Barry Ward, winners of Rally Trinidad 2 weeks ago, crashed out at Stage 6. If you are a young woman and you are tall, let's say 6 foot, netball needs you. The height of our players was identified as a deficiency in the local game after Barbados finished second to Jamaica in the Caribbean Under-16 Championship in Antigua last week. They were beaten only by the new champions. Barbados coach Julie Phillips said the Bajans had the smallest players in the circle in the tournament, as she praised their hard work and fight to overcome any shortcomings. She said aggressive recruitment of taller netballers and greater attention to skill development should be a local priority. And finally, Brazilian football manager Luis Felipe Scolari has said there will be no sex ban on his players during the World Cup as long as they engage in what he calls normal intercourse. Leave out the acrobatics, he says. Sex bans are occasionally imposed by some teams heading to major tournaments in a bid to prevent unforeseen injuries and heighten focus. And Scolari believes that if players stick to the conventional stuff, the Samba boys will be okay. Now at the 2002 World Cup, Scolari was stricter when it came to nocturnal activities, banning his players from engaging in sex during the entirety of the tournament, which they ended up winning. You may recall that Ronaldo, the original one, famously spoke of his ache down below, his words, during that winning campaign. That's Nation News, the Monday edition.